The Supreme Court is hearing a case that could radically reshape election law in this country. Justices are hearing arguments on the independent state legislature theory, which contends that state legislatures and state legislators alone have the power to govern federal elections without traditional oversight. ABC News senior Washington reporter Devin Dwyer joining me now. Devin, you're inside the court this morning. Before we talk about exactly what happened, just bring our viewers up to date on what this case is looking at exactly and just the implications that it could bring.
Kira, this is an extraordinary case if you care about our democracy and our elections. This is about who gets to decide when, where, and how we vote for president and Congress, who gets to draw the districts in your state, who gets to decide whether mail ballots go out, and how are those provisions actually, checked for civil rights violations, other legal questions around them. The U.S. Constitution has said, of course, from the beginning that legislatures get to decide the time, place, and manner of our elections, but it's always been understood that state courts can review those policies and procedures for how we vote. Well, today, a group of Republicans from North Carolina asked the Supreme Court to change all of that for the first time in 235 years. They said it should be legislatures alone, free from any overview by anybody, including state courts, to decide how elections should be run. No oversight, no checks and balances. The voter groups and democracy groups that were opposing this, Kira, called it radical because, as you said at the top there, it could effectively invalidate laws in every single state.
So what stands out to you now from what you heard in court today?
Well, on the surface, Kira, this is extraordinary that the Supreme Court of the United States even entertained this theory. This is a fringe theory known as the independent state legislature theory. They gave it 3 hours of arguments today. It ran double time. And there are at least 3 justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch, who are open to embracing it. Now, liberal justices were opposed to this, said there's no grounding in our history and tradition in taking any oversight out of how states pass election laws. But there were 3 justices in the middle, the chief, Amy Coney Barrett, and Brett Kavanaugh, who were sort of, playing the middle ground here. And so it was fascinating, Kira, to see just how they're going to try to thread the needle here. It did seem at the end of the day that the court is going to avoid embracing this theory full hog, but they might make some sort of a rollback in how state courts can oversee and check how our elections are run.
So some of the conservative justices appear to be open to this theory. Bottom line, where do you think it's headed?
Well, it does look like, Kira, that the Republicans of North Carolina who brought this challenge, they want their election maps reinstated in the state of North Carolina. They were struck down by a state court. It seems like there's a pretty good chance they could get that win here. But how the court writes this opinion is going to be what everyone is watching most closely when the decision comes out in June. Again, it did look like the court would veer off from what many are calling the worst case scenario. But there's a chance. I mean, this is an unpredictable court, as you know. Many thought that abortion rights would stand, that precedent would stand. It did not. So a lot of people on edge on both sides of this tonight, Kira, as they wait to see what the court does.
We're paying close attention. Devin, thanks so much.
Thanks, Kira.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.